Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the third session of day one of week 3 of ALYFE Connect, our very first virtual-only event brought to you exclusively by ALYFE Group. Tonight, we have a very special treat in store, and one which I think you'll find will be among the, if not the, in fact, I'm pretty positive, the most entertaining session we've had so far. We are delighted to bring to you our very first Divas Night, hosted by three, in fact, very, very special guests indeed. We are honored and humbled to have with us Malaysia's queen of comedy, Joanne Kam, and her equally hilarious and salacious comedy partner, Bibi Poh, hosted by the ineffable Arthur Tan. Without further ado, I will hand you over to these three and let you guys enjoy a wonderful evening.
Hello!
Hello, ladies. Oh, I should say, hello, BB coming.
BB coming,
BB coming. So who comes then?
Everybody comes.
So
Right now, no one's coming.
If you take off your clothes, maybe everybody will come.
Okay. So, we save that as for the later part. All right, so a very warm welcome to everybody watching ALYFE Connects. Tonight is going to be the battles of the divas, and of course, proudly presenting you none other than the one and only Joanne Kam. Woohoo! And of course, not forgetting may the force be with you, Princess Leah in the house, none other than the BB Poh. Woohoo!
Yes, I'm Princess Hanjing Leah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Eat one.
Right.
Definitely.
We've been good, considering today is our partial MCO restriction has been lifted. I almost went out today, but then I told myself I will not be like the rest of the idiots out there, so I decided to stay in.
So you decided to stay in, and then after that, you dress yourself up, dolling yourself out. So I could tell, did it take 3 hours to start dolling yourself up?
Usually 1 hour, not 3 hours lah. I do know people who have taken 3 hours to get ready before, correct, Bibi?
Yes, 3 freaking hours.
We've done it within an hour already now. Yeah.
Yeah. When we started, maybe 3 hours lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of effort, to look this cheap lah, as Dolly Parton says.
Yes.
But look as amazing as ever. I love is that the red lips you really just added on as whole spiciness.
This color, for those of you who are wondering what color I'm using, this is called prostitute red.
Because she is one. She is one.
So
I am a princess. I'm a virgin.
The Lauren Hajay type is prostitute or the Four Seasons one? Where do you stand usually?
I'm virgin, wearing white color, princess. In the Chinese movies, they call me Little Dragon Girl. I still got red dot, okay? Red dot.
Virgin from the back, maybe. Virgin from the back,
Even that, maybe not. But we don't talk about that. I still virgin.
Okay. Yes, tonight we have to control the hamsapness, because there's all different walks of life, and then plus ALYFE Group it's all very, very prestige, very atas people. So we will save this.
Atas people even more hamsap, I tell you.
I always get booked by atas people one,
They're the same here. They brought me all the way to Thailand, no?
By now, man,
I haven't finished my sentence yet. Atas people, and a lot still are very innocent. So
I don't know. I think the ones who are in the ALYFE Group are already very,
ready to review themselves.
No, affluent and influential.
So they only look innocent.
I like that. Yeah. Well, in less than 5 minutes, we already have question. We're very serious to this crowd. We already got a question ready from the guests. But yes, to all viewers out there who are watching right now, your first ALYFE Connect as our first Diva show, Diva session as this evening. Do feel free to drop off as your questions at any times, at anywhere, and they will entertain you at any time or everywhere too. So okay, so let's get the ball rolling. We actually haven't started getting a show ready yet. Yeah. So so I know you guys as I've been busy doing a lot of live shows. Is that what I've been occupied?
Yes, we have our regular FB live show with Stephen Bones. For those of you who do not know, Stephen Bones is the man behind all those movie parodies, the Mama King, the Lion King. He did the Mulan.
Stephen Boner. Yeah, Boner. You just made up that name? Oh, Stephen Bones.
Stephen Bones.
Bones.
Boner. Okay. All right.
So our show is called the Chat Fun Show, and it's on every Wednesday and Saturday. That's when the only hums up people come in on, because we're all very hums up.
Yes,
so thankfully
definitely.
I know the hums-upness because as I managed to catch a show and the hums-upness as I was gradually going up one, I can feel that now.
So, it always starts that way.
So
always sounds very innocent, like
we talk about the current news. Then the current news will get more heated, and it get more hums up, and then we take two sips of wine, and then it becomes very hums up finished.
No wonder I saw the both of yours that were drinking wine. So meaning that while you're drinking wine, then you feel more. You feel more heated up, and then after that, some things will be vibrating. It's one part of your body, so hence the hums-upness will come out easily lah. Or memang it's already
why are you so fixated about something being vibrating? There is
nothing. Joanne, maybe he wants to try the vibration.
Maybe you don't want the vibration, Arthur Tan. It's my tete, that's all. And that's because when I go up and down, it's like that only. Other thing, no vibration.
Yes. And mine cannot vibrate.
Yeah, I can tell. It's even from this site right now. I got to say, Joanne, it's very alluring actually. That site. So I hope we are going to see. I hope that we're going to see something vibrating. So right on top, not only at the bottom part. But yes, there are some viewers are very delighted to be seeing Joanne. Bibi, you want to say hello to Juliana? Hing. Hello.
Oh, Juliana. Hi, Juliana.
Our little fans over here. We have a lot of questions, but we are saving certain questions for as their hums-upness will go on now. Okay. So anyway,
we will answer anything within reason. Okay.
So the Chat Fun shows. Bibi, you want to share more a bit of why Chat Fun? Why economic rice? For those who don't understand, as Chat Fun means economy, I believe that you all have definitely bought Chat Fun rice, right?
For Malaysians, we all know lah, right? Well, Chat Fun show is because within the three hosts, we have one for everybody. Our styles are very different. The way we talk is very different. The only thing that we are all the same, all three of us very hums up, except Stephen Bones is a little bit innocent.
But he has learned a lot. He has become like the Star Wars.
He has evolved.
Okay.
He has evolved. He has learned about threesome, foursome, penis extension. He's learned a lot.
Dildos.
Yes. He's learned all
dildos.
Pearls. He's learned about
influence name. So he sounded like was a complete raw guy, and then after that decided to jump on the show with you and became hums-up as few episodes goes by. So
it's kind of because he is actually so not hums-up, and then when we talk about our experiences and the things we do, and he's like, really?
Then he goes red.
Like, for example, we were talking about Halloween costume, and I say, oh yeah, if I was to choose a Halloween costume to go shopping during the MCO, I would dress as a bee or a ladybug. And he's like, oh, bee or ladybug, do you know if you dress there, only children will follow you? And then we had another guest that says, are you ridiculous? Who's going to wear a kiddie bee? Or I'm going to wear
Charmaine was there.
The audacity, he's like, where got sexy bee or sexy, what do you call this?
Darth Vader.
Or sexy. Then we're like, which planet are you on? So he had to Google all that.
And then all the
Oh
sexy
my!
costumes
I gotta
come
say,
out.
like, if any of these parents, is like, viewers actually bringing their kids, I only can imagine like how mental it is like for their kids to be hearing that. So is that like, I wonder like how parents is like actually block their kids from hearing all this sometimes.
They don't
That's why our show is always at night. Yeah. You send the children to sleep first.
Yeah. If 10 p.m. your children's not sleeping, that means they're old enough to know about the birds, the bees, and the internet already.
Very good, very good.
And don't think they are that innocent, because I have a 15-year-old and she's not innocent. I mean, she's very innocent, but she's seen everything.
So I believe that the whole idea. And how long is the show usually? How long does
1
it last?
hour? It's about 1 hour.
Okay,
1 hour.
okay. So I can conclude as it's a fun. It's just to manipulate people's minds. But it's very deceiving. It's actually
And
everything.
it has a little bit of everything in life, just like the Tafan. If you want vegetable, we have. You want curry, we have. You want a vegetarian. Vegetarian, we go to Stephen Bones lah. That is it's the most vanilla one among us all.
I'm like Pai Kwat Wong.
Yes, and I'm Kali Kai.
All right. Okay, ladies, I do not know why it's a very overwhelming responses from the viewers. But then again, as I just hold on your horse, we'll be opening up the questions very, very much right in a bit. But I'm very, very keen to actually hear so what are your plans? Considering we are all in the entertainment scene. I mean, of course, for the both of you guys are like big stars, in the comedy arena, and we are going to foresee this is not going to happen. I mean, any live show is not going to take place for the next probably even 12 or maybe even worse as 18 months. So a lot of shows are going to move to virtually. So what are your plans then?
Well, for me, or I think it goes the same way for all entertainers. We are putting up kind of like a web show. So we have been getting requests. Of course, it's just a lot of requests for now to ask if we are able to do like a 20-minute web show. And I think Bibi has done that already for one of his clients in Singapore. So I think some of the comedians have started adjusting and to see how they can translate their live show into a virtual show. And I think it's still possible. It's just that you don't get your live element. Like with Zoom and all, people can come in the seminar. Like for example, if you have a seminar and you want any of us to entertain, so we'll do it like a proper show. I mean, like we'll set it up nicely, or we'll dress
have
up,
a backdrop.
Like whatever Bibi is doing right now, like she's already ready for like a live page show, right?
and then basically we tell our jokes, because we do have our joke segments and all that. It's just that the audience interaction part may be a little bit slower.
It'll be a bit challenging though, that part.
Bibi can explain how was your audience participation
So Bibi, I'm very particularly keen to know, okay, as a speaker, okay, I think it's understandable. It's still not easy. Like one of my difficult tasks is to actually be looking at that one tiny ball, right? Because it's if you look directly, to the camera, and then after that, you tend to engage battles with the audience. But jokes, right? Like comedy, you have to talk the own joke, and then you gotta laugh by yourself, and the interaction is it's not gonna bounce back to you. So how are you gonna get yourself comfortable, and what are the challenges?
I just did this show, I think last week or a week and a half ago. So it's for a party of 25 people for someone's birthday, and it was for Zoom. Lucky it was for Zoom, because Zoom is a two-way aperture. Because if it's just like this, only I can talk, but they can't talk back, right?
Yeah.
The difficult part is not unable to engage. The difficult part is if you can only log in through a gadget or a computer screen, you can only see say 5 people. You cannot see everybody and their reaction. And when you talk to them or when you tell a joke, because of internet and the lag, suddenly I was like, I told a joke, and then
after that you pause there.
Then I was like I said in Chinese, 死了冇反應嘅, and they were like, 5 seconds later, I'm like, oh,
So I think
internet lag.
I think literally for us comedians, what we'll do is we tell the punchline ta-da-da-da-da, and then we wait 1,
Pause.
2, 3, 4.
Shimmy hands.
In fact, I think it's that's like the element of the show, right? Because it's like you guys suddenly like lags, the internet lags, and then like sometimes it's like you see when when certain visuals are lag, and then after that, the way it's like how the person like either opening out the mouth very big.
Yeah, the miming doesn't match.
Yeah. And that's part of the show itself, right?
Yeah, the thing is, so as comedians, I think, even as entertainers, as singers, as an MC, we have to adjust our timing already. That one will take some experience, lah.
Yeah.
We just, I mean, it is the new normal. So I think SOPs needs to be put in place. You're right. In the next 1 to 2 months, you won't be seeing a lot of like maybe pubs or clubs opening and all that. But after that, I think there will be certain places that will have to open, but with certain SOPs in place, like maybe KL Pack or PJLA. I mean, surprisingly enough, they have shows booked until the end of the year. You know, so if they're gonna be able to host those shows, then SOPs needs to be in place lah. Whether you only sit groups
Probably
and
like,
then 2 meters apart. I mean, we just have to find ways around it. That's one thing. That's the live show. The second thing, and because now everyone is online, everyone has started either streaming service, Zoom or whatsoever. There is possibility to hire entertainers for your seminars, just to give a little break from just hearing like the seminars over and over again, and
the data and all that.
Yeah, so there is also an avenue. I mean, I'm looking at this as a blessing in disguise. After a year, maybe there'll be 2 options. You can either get a comedian live for a certain rate, or you can get a comedian online for a different price. So perhaps in the long run, it might benefit entertainers who are able to adjust to expand their horizon. Like we can also do workshops, like perhaps like Bibi can do a drag makeup workshop.
Senior management people, while they're attending, getting so bored, so they need entertainers that suddenly get them excited, right?
Yeah, the only thing we can't do now is like we can't give them lap dance lah,
Yeah, that one will be hard lah. We should give you virtual lap dance, Arthur, like you take a ball and then you pretend that it's my ball and then you rub all over yourself.
And make sure it vibrates. Arthur is like so obsessed with the vibration thingy.
Yeah, it's okay.
You can
buy my vibration ball next. I will.
Yes,
I
you look very innocent.
I've attended both of your shows. I've worked before with you guys, and vibration. I don't know why is one of those words like that. Have always been frequently used. And of course, Joanne, as yourself, you love using the word as a vibration, vibrator.
No, you're the one that started the vibration word.
Okay, I'm not getting there. All right, my bad. All right, so
saying vibration. You're the one saying vibration.
Yeah, I didn't. I was talking about croissants.
So what I'm hearing, so what I'm hearing is basically from the ladies is like it's you have to be agile, in a way. You have to be flexible at the same time too. So to be comfortable virtually and also physical as well. So don't have selective hearing. I know some words as I can tweak to a different meaning. Yes, so flexibility, agility. I think it's not only business, but also entertainers. Need to have that sense of agility. Let's talk about really what the things that people don't see is behind the scene as an entertainer. Too often as people will say, oh, entertainer like Bibi and Joanne, they go up there, talk hums up things and get paid and then after that they shock and themselves, they laugh themselves. Tell the viewers that things that people don't see behind the scene to become a successful entertainer and the name that you have built for yourself. I think I'm very particularly keen in knowing that too. Bibi, you want to start first? Bibi.
Oh, I start with that. Okay. Well, I actually started not as a comedian. I actually started as a church choir singer.
There is one for you all yet. Everyone out there who goes to church and is singing in their choir every Sunday. Don't worry. Eventually, you can also end up becoming.
Oh my god, this is so mental. Oh my god.
I did. I think I was 13 or 14. I was in a church choir, and I was, because my voice hasn't broken yet that time, so I was always put as a soprano, singing solo in church.
Yes.
Until when you did a lot of until
And
puberty.
they got me on tour with them as well, singing Hallelujah and all that. But the funny thing is, I'm not even Christian, so they were like, "What? You're not Christian?" I'm like, "Oh no, you didn't ask, so I didn't say that." Free training, man, free training very expensive, So they gave me free training. I went on tour with them. Then when they realized I'm not actually I'm not actually
not that.
Then they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you cannot join us for our our tours." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yes, because you're pagan.
By then I was already 15. I could pay for my own classes already.
So here's the interesting thing. Me and Bibi met up when I was already a performer in Haw Villa. So we actually got
that.
for me it was 29. I think
After
for
the
Bibi,
boom boom days, right? After the boom boom days.
Oh, before.
We met before the Boom Boom days.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were trained together by the theme park in Singapore. This was more than 30 years ago, Joanne.
Wow.
As a comedian, maybe 30
Wow.
years for you and 32 for me, 28 for me.
29. This year
for you.
Yeah.
I became a comedian 2 years after you. So we are like 30, 31, 32 years since Singapore.
Yeah. Something like that, right? Because next year will be my 30th year in entertainment. So it will be, because you started in KL first with your singing group, and then you came to Hapa. So we have collectively about 30 years of experience.
So when you first met, it's what? So literally, like, the chemistry is, the spark, and then ever since then, you became like Song sisters.
But Joanne and I are related. We are distant cousins.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, that's
We
something
found that
very
out
new.
in Singapore because my auntie married one of his uncles.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very distant relative. And then we were like in Singapore talking about, when I go back for Chinese New Year, Auntie Daisy and Uncle this and Auntie this. Then she said, like, wait a minute, I have an Auntie Daisy and an Uncle this and an Auntie that. Wait a minute, is your grandmother this name, your grand uncle this name? Yes. Oh no, we are related.
Yeah, we actually screamed when we found out. But yeah, it's a lot of training, and also like you need to be persistent. Persistent in the market enough to survive lah. Like I've gone through several transformation.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, my main core is still stand-up comedy, but I also write, I direct, I produce. So I've gone out of the stand-up range to do like variety shows and also produce productions that includes like either international scripts or scripts which I have gotten writers to write for. So in that aspect, for me, it's not just growing as a comedian, but growing as an artist, an all-round artist. So I feel that for those who want to be in the entertainment business for a long time, you kind of need
you better branch out.
You need to have your core, and then you just branch out into other things.
Actually, Arthur, Joanne had it one of the toughest, because back when we all started comedy in Malaysia, there was only like Joanne Kam and Joanne Kam.
Yeah. And Joanne Kam and Kam Poh.
And that's it. And Boom Boom Room, and there was Joanne Kam, and that was it. There was no internet, there was no Google. Everything had to be on her own. In Singapore, we had Kumar, of course. So we kind of started around there. But when she was in Malaysia, it was just her. And then there was one year she decided, okay, I'm going to branch out on my own. Bibi, do you want to come back to KL and become and take over the anchor of Boom Boom Room? I'm like, huh? I'm going to be an air stewardess? No. She said, no, you come back now. So I came back. Lah.
Yeah. So it was either he joined to become an air steward, or he came back to replace me in Boom Boom Room KL as the host lah. Because after
the anchor.
3 years, yeah, you must understand, I was in Boom Boom Room for 3 years, and it's 6 days a night showcase.
It's a household name. Yeah, I mean, I heard story.
It's literally
it's
6 days.
It's very draining.
I can't take too long of a holiday. It's not that they won't allow me. It's just that there was no anchor, there was no co-host, you see. And so I was just burnt out. So when Bibi came, it gave me the opportunity to branch out and go and do shows in places like Penang, like in Boom Boom Babylon, Penang, and all that.
Yeah, because at that time also they didn't. She couldn't take leave or anything. And that's how Bibi Poh, the character, was discovered.
Yeah. So I wanted to take leave, and then I got you in for 2 weeks.
You come back for 1 month and take no pay leave from Hopper Villa, Singapore. I said, why? Oh, I need to go off, and they're going to take everybody off. That means the whole team is going to go off. They will supply me with a group of divas, and then we will handle the show for 1 month. And when Bibi came, at that time I had no wigs, I had no dresses, and I had no heels. I wore boots. I wore army boots for my first show in Boom Boom Room, and that's how Bibi Poh was born, actually.
So Bibi Poh names was given birth as from Boom Boom Room then.
Yes,
from Malaysia itself, as I mean, to all viewers out there, ladies and gents, we are seeing two very successful comedians, and oftentimes we always hear the success stories of business, and imagine the amount of perseverance, the hard work, the hardship they went through. And one thing really I got to say, especially comedy is in particular, a lot of people never appreciated comedy, and a lot of people always think that comedy is just like oh, that's to pass my time. And only until recent years that comedies has taken to a whole new level, and people really appreciating it. I'm talking in particular Malaysians, and are really paying for a slightly more premium price to attend comedy shows. And I think really well, I believe that you guys have definitely probably there are times that you might have hesitation whether are you in the right career, but I believe right now that the success that we're seeing, you have never regretted your decision, right?
I'm quite happy what I did.
yeah
I think for us, I mean, we've been doing it for so long, you can't say there's no room for regrets. The condition is that the fact that we've survived this long in the market, it only shows that our path was the correct path. But of course, right now, because there are ways to diversify,
Okay, I mean, since we have a really overwhelming response from the viewers, before we go to the next section, which is a little bit more serious, because the viewers also want some practical tips on becoming a successful entertainer, and of course, overcoming fear. We try to lighten a bit the topic . So okay, so Forrest Vince Chan has been very active asking questions. So he asks us, who are your inspiration when you became comedian? Well, hey, read the question. Not checking out the guy, not checking out Vince's picture.
No,
I'm looking at his.
I'm looking at his profile picture.
It's like Bibi went nearer. That was the first.
I don't think it was because of the question. Okay, Forrest Vince Chan. Well, I started out very old school. 29 years ago, I started out in Singapore with Kumar in the original Boom Boom Room Singapore. Of course, besides Kumar, my go-to comedians were very old school. They were people like Bette Midler. Okay, they were who also started entertaining in gay clubs. I mean, that was a circuit. That was a first circuit. The other one which I really liked from that time, Whoopi Goldberg. I love Whoopi Goldberg. The new ones, I like Wanda Sykes. Oh my God, Wanda Sykes just kills me. Eliza Schlesinger, Margaret Cho, These are the
Margaret
Cho, really?
Margaret Cho is one of my icons. I mean,
Wow.
first of all, because she was not only because she was a woman, but she was an Asian woman doing comedy in America in a time where we don't have things like Crazy Rich Asians to boost us up. You get what I mean? I mean, we are now in an era where Hollywood is leaning more towards, how would you say, the East.
They're recognizing the eastern part of the world.
And because of Parasite, Crazy Rich Asian, and of course wanting to be able to get through the Asian markets as well. So even with, let's say, if you're binge watching Netflix, you can see more Asian faces. And of course, with producers like Mindy Kaling, you know, they're not only
Ali
Asian
Wong.
Americans, Mindy Kaling, not only Asian Americans, but Indian Americans, you know, are also having more prominence, TV networks, and they are having, like, even with Teenage Stories, they are forefronting Asian Americans, and that says a lot.
Yes, because back then we only had one Power Ranger, the yellow one.
And Ultraman.
So but it's so racist. No, the yellow one is Asian. The black one is a black guy.
Follow same color, ma.
Same color, so racist. No, I tell you last time, Power Rangers.
No, I got a second what Joanne said is I think, you know, like the American Asians, like Margaret Cho. I mean, you know, I had the privilege to attend as a show, and it's just so raw. You know, it's like
so good, isn't it?
It's like wow, like it just screws so my ass is on the seat, like, you know, right from the start all the way towards the end. Yeah. I mean, Bibi, what about yourself? Like, you know, I mean, any female comedians in particular that, you know, you have successfully, I mean, I always believe that, you know, every successful person always model another role model, an icon. Do you have, like, because you are very unique on your own, you know, and even the introduction, like how the way you do your introduction, let's not get there. You know? So a lot of people.
For me, my main inspiration was I did a little skit of that comedian's set lah. Not really a set from the movie. It was actually just like Joanne Whoopi Goldberg as well. When I did my audition to go to Singapore and perform there, I did the whole Whoopi Goldberg in the movie Ghost, and where she pretended to be a medium and tried to connect with the ghost, and she was like all Salah. And actually, according to my bosses, that was what got me in. Not my singing was okay, is it? My dancing was okay, is it? But how I improv that part, Kelvin Tan said that was what got you in. Yeah, so it was Whoopi Goldberg and another not so famous comedian called Bernadette Peters, because in one of the movies where she played the queen with a whole this movie Joanne showed me one. I think it was Life, not Life of Brian, the other one, Creation of the World, I think.
Oh my God, Creation of the World. That's
how many years ago is it?
It's a Mel Brooks one.
Mel Brooks, but it's so
hilarious. So she had a bunch of guards in front of her, and they all had very short skirts, and then they all were naked, waist below, and she would go, yes, no, yes, no, yes. So I modeled myself after Bernadette Peters and Whoopi Goldberg mostly.
Yeah, we are very old school Arthur. We grew up with people like that, you know. I mean, your Bernadette Peters, your Bette Midler. One of Bette Midler's movie which I really, really enjoyed was the one where she and this other comedian, and they were twins, but they were separated. So they were twins, and then they went to the wrong parents.
What was the movie?
I must try it. Which one?
Hey, this movie sounds like moons ago. You know, I mean,
they were very young.
I mean, I would say that I'm an old soul, you know, but definitely some of the movies you mentioned, I definitely just didn't ring a bell to me. But of course, to all viewers that are out there, those that just join in, is a very warm welcome to our first and only Diva shows, you know, on ALYFE Connect, as I exclusively brought to you by ALYFE Group. So feel free, you know, to shoot these two divas as any questions, as we are listening. Is a very inspirational story behind it. Now we are talking about, you know, still, you know, jokes and of course you role modeling an icon, and I'm been hearing Whoopi Goldberg's name, so I think it's from that era. But of course, as time goes by, as I also jokes as I have to change to accommodate the trend of the people and the appetites of the listeners, right? Tell us what is true, basically, like how to be funny and how to be spontaneous in front of a crowd. Is that like in built in you already, or like, or you have to practice, of course, like, or it's based on your experience, and then after that you express your personal life through jokes.
Okay, I'll be very honest, because there has been a lot of new people in the scene that wants to take up comedy. One is you either have it, that means you have that talent.
You have the character for it.
You have the character for it.
I'm sure a bit right.
Natural. The other one is taught. Okay, so like for me and Bibi, we have that already. That's how we got into Hapa, because we auditioned. We didn't just get in, we had to audition. And it was through the audition that the bosses, because the bosses are all in entertainment, they were either theater directors or they were concert directors. So they were the one that auditioned, and they're like, okay, that's something. And even when I audition people right now, when I do my variety shows, usually I'll audition singers, I'll audition actors. And there'll be some that are naturally funny, like they will know how to make it funny just with their facial expression. And what we'll do, we give them the same script, right? We give them all the same script. We couple them up and say, okay, you pretend to be a husband and wife or whatever. So that's how we do it. And then when we audition them, we see how they react to the situation, Okay. So if you're talking about comedy, there's two types. The ones that are they can naturally make people laugh just by a little bit of guidance and with good material. Your material need to be good. You see that they'll be able to advance themselves more than the ones who I wouldn't say lacking. I think for those who are not natural, you just need practice. You need practice. You need to work at it, and you need material. I think a lot of time people just think that we go up on stage and we just ad-lib all the way, but it's not. Like there is certain steps that
we just make it look natural, but it's not. Everything is pre-planned. Everything.
And the jokes that you convey also have to be accommodating to your own persona, right? Say for example, like Joanne, I'm gonna use you like literally you have big teeth, so hence like you use that. I mean, I've been attending so many of your shows, and of course you always begin talking about your tete first, right? And that's because it's like you are from Penang. So Penang, tete is a bigger, KL tete, right? See, I can remember.
I'm from Penang too. I'm from Penang too, okay?
That's my opening line.
So the opening line. So one comedian, in order to be successful, okay, don't say successful. They have to be natural selves at using their own assets and what they are most comfortable with.
Yes, of course.
I would call it creating your own signature.
Okay. Oh, that's very interesting, Bibi. How do you create a creative signature? That how can one find that?
Now you see, I cannot exercise jokes that Joanne exercised, right? I cannot do jokes like, oh, I've got a big tete and all that. So you look at yourself and I find that if you know how to laugh at yourself, then you can laugh with other people. Because otherwise, as a comedian, if you are afraid of how people will see you, it's like a clown saying, oh no, I'm so depressed. Every time I go to work, everybody is laughing at me. Cannot. As a comedian, you must be able to accept people laughing with you, not always at you, but laughing with you. And you share that with others.
Yeah, because if you want to start anything that's on stage, you need to have that character on stage that is kind of like a replica of you but heightened, So in order to get the people to know you, you need to do self-deprecating jokes first.
Yes. It always starts there, isn't it?
Yeah, you always start with self-deprecating jokes, and then after that,
know how to laugh at yourself.
And then after that, go on. I mean, in the recent influx of new open mic comedians, I've listened to a few of them, and I would say a lot of them have potential. It's just that they need to be guided,
Polished. They need to be polished.
You must understand. It took us 30 years to
right.
be this way. You know,
That's
No,
right.
not just 30 years, Joanne. We had to do 6 days a week, 2 sets a day for at least 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
That's
Mine was
amazing.
more
That's amazing.
than 3
You know, these
years.
are the kind of things that really people that don't see is the behind the scene, and so much hard work and so much aside of a commitment, as you know, in what you truly believe and to take where you are today. Of course, as we have a viewer, Andeline, saying that for Bibi, she has a lot of tiaras. Yes, I mean,
Tiaras.
to set up her
Crown,
tiaras.
darling, crown.
I've done a show with Bibi, and I got to say, like, the luggages of bags that she brings. Oh wow! Hence, otherwise, she wouldn't be looking so
Well,
stunning.
if actually one thing for sure, like if you look at my show pictures, you see the tiara. If it's very small, then you know it was many years ago. If you see it's about the size of a bucket, then you know it's very recent. As the years go by, the tiaras get bigger,
and more plasticky also as well, right? Okay, so
my tiaras are crystal.
Excuse me. Rhinestones.
Right. So, also, if anybody that want to kidnap, want to rob you, better rob the tiaras, not rob you, right?
Mine has Swarovski crystals. Swarovski crystals are not worth much. They just look damn good on stage. Yes.
All right. Okay. So, we'll probably have this one more question. I mean, I have a question for you before we start playing games. That's right.
Oh, games.
With our two divas this evening, and trust me, it's gonna be funny because when you're gonna put them games together, like the battle of divas, don't ever mess with them, because if you think one Bibi coming not enough, trust me, when you have both Bibi coming together, you also will get your come also as well. So, all right. So, I think my questions would be: how do you constantly ensuring that you stay as yourself on A game above the rest of the other competitors?
I think we've been lucky enough for both me and Bibi to constantly be able to do our show, either corporate shows or productions. I think if last year, I think almost every 2 months I had a production that I was either involved in. Whether I was a comedian, or I was producing it, co-producing it, I was directing it, I was writing for it. So that keeps me on the toes. What's sad for these few months is because of the COVID-19. Yeah, it has kind of how would I say, hampered my what do you call this? My I wouldn't say ability. It's like if this virus wasn't going around and it wasn't a global pandemic, right now I think I would most probably have something in August, something in September, October, self-produced shows, where I would either be directing or writing for it. So in that aspect, creatively, I feel that this year I'm just stunted because I have to wait and see what's going to happen in the next couple of months.
But I think Joanne is going to hope for the best, as what he said, that everything happens for a reason. You just never know, how virtual show will actually take it on to the next level. And so long that you constantly just being hopeful and constantly just adapt. I think adaptability is very important, and pretty much sure that, you already do it very well there. Yeah. And what about yourself, Bibi?
Well,
how do you ensure that you stay A game above the rest of your I wouldn't say competitors, like your fellow friends,
Well, basically, my brand of comedy is quite different from most of the people in the market. I think right now in the market there's only maybe 2 or 3 like me. One of them is in Penang, and she's mostly a MC rather than a comedian. And then one in KL, not a comedian, but a funny singer, brilliant singer. And then there's me. I do everything but Okay lah,
under
my own brand
transformation under transformation or transform already? Or still under transformation?
under construction lah.
Under construction or haven't transformer yet.
Yeah. So when I get excited, can transform lah. I see Lang Chai means, like just now that Forest Winds Chan. I can tell you, I look at that body, I would transform from taxi to become a truck.
Don't worry.
You definitely have a near
after this session is finished, you will get a friend request from BB.
And maybe want to see your forest as well. So you know what I mean, yeah. Forest,
I'm sure his forest is very thick by now.
I know. My forest is not a desert.
Yeah.
Dry, dry.
Make sure no wild bushfires are attacking it.
Okay.
So before we begin the game, I guess everyone's very excited. I just want to flash some feedback, some comments, from the viewers. Nice hairstyle, baby. That's right. Ooh la la. When she's in the evening, Bibi will transform.
Yes, dark side is important. You cannot always go into the force. Sometimes you must go into the Sith. You take your lightsaber and just poke on it, then best I tell you.
Poke on it, chuchok on it. That's what Bibi always says.
Poke on it,
All right, and of course, Agus also he's a very diplomatic guy. Right? He compliments Bibi first, then compliment Joanne also as well. Joanne always sexy and stunning. Yeah.
Thank you, Agus.
Yeah.
Are you like the meat like that? Like Agus prime rib like that? Is it?
Ooh, you can put him on a grill.
Name like Agus, like US.
Agus Azrael. Isn't Azrael the what? Gargamel's cat, Azrael?
Yes, it is. That's Azrael. Yeah, Azrael. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's gonna be a pussy for you, Joanne.
You okay? Continue.
Smurf, Smurf got the magician called Gargamel. Gargamel has a cat called Azrael, right?
I don't know. I didn't know Papa Smurf.
It's okay, Agus. I can adopt you anytime also.
Ayo!
Sexy time. I'm going to see more friend requests after this. So, I think some exciting times. We have Xavier Bar in the house. When I first read Twins Tower, I was thinking is it like Joanne has that slightly Twins Tower protruding? Her tete is protruding like Twins Tower. Well, that's but okay. I remember that joke. Yes, in fact, I remember that joke as well. Yeah.
That's my standard one.
So, for all those people who are just in tune with us, we're still, on a Diva show, the first ever Diva shows, on ALYFE Connect, exclusively brought to you by ALYFE Group. So right now, so any questions, please feel free to drop it off, and we do hope that we are able to answer that question. All right, it's fun time right now. So it's the battle, of divas. So our first game, ladies, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play telling a random story. Okay, I know it's not the best. It's not the best name of it. I just came out in.
Because when you say game, I thought strip poker. That's Kali telling a random story.
Yeah, but then again, strip poker. You Joanne, you most rugi, You have the least material.
I don't know a lot
of things also.
This is the first sequel, so maybe it's, we want to have more exciting times, so our first sequels a little bit, we have to progressively build the climax so but still using your mouth. Don't worry, this game it requires using your mouth and a bit of a brain juice as well. So this is how it's gonna happen. Okay, so either one of you are going to start first. Okay, tell a story. Just begin something with a phrase with 6 words. And then after that, continue in the next person. The next person will continue the story from the last word that is being said from the first person.
So is it between me and Bibi, or you will also start?
I'm just going to be a facilitator. I'm just going to watch.
Okay, so you start the line, and then we'll see who goes next. Is it?
Okay.
So you have a coin flip or not? You have a coin flip.
I will start the line. I will start the line first. Yes. Yeah.
So we coin flip. Who wants to go first?
Now, Myla, I'll just decide. So why not we just go like, okay, from my view right now, my side, and then after that, we go down first. Or you want to go up first and go down? Okay, yeah.
I will always go down first.
We go down first.
Storytelling.
Okay,
Sorry.
no. Okay, we go down first, all right? So we go down. Okay, yeah.
It's okay, Bibi. Your hair is the perfect hair for going down today.
Can't just take out and clip on.
Okay, ladies, let's get ready. Get ready our engine.
Okay, so I start first, is it?
No,
Or
I
you-
will say the line first.
Okay, you start first.
On 4th May, there was once lived Bibi.
A sexy princess that
Loves to go out every night looking for ice cream.
which she will lick and lick until it is dry.
Arthur?
No, he's not. He's just watching.
Okay, so after that,
Yeah,
me,
dry.
is it?
Yes, yeah. So Joanne Kam, yeah. Dry.
One day, the dryness was so hard,
She had to use sandpaper to smoothen it.
after that, all she made is tofu.
Far that turned into 岛酱水.
Then she decides to give her
Lover some of the 岛酱水 and he
drinks it and feels glowing.
but unfortunately he 老晒.
Then have to be admitted to hospital.
And they suspected he had COVID-19.
So now she doesn't have ice
Cream to play with anymore. So she
goes to a live group for entertainment. The end.
and plays with other Tan.
Oh my god, I don't know how tough we cut out and because COVID-19 and but well, kudos ladies. Yeah.
This is very vanilla for us already. Very vanilla already.
There was hospital involved.
I definitely have some image. I was waiting for the climax. Where the climax going to happen? Then after that, when Bibi said COVID-19, is it going to be the end of the story? There.
Poor thing.
Forrest Vince Chan, Bibi. That took a dark turn. I think it's.
You haven't seen anything yet, Forrest.
Yes.
Bibi is getting excited, yeah, all because of you, Forrest Vince Chan. But
Right.
alone by herself, yeah, she conditioned herself staying alone. Can you imagine? For the last 45 days, she's been staying alone. Tonight, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, so yeah, well prepared.
Climb the walls already.
She climbed
Bibi
a
knows how to set up cliffhangers. Yeah. All right, I think we're good for one more game, ladies. Are you ready? I mean, to all viewers, if you want more games, to see our divas using the mouth, just comment there. Yes, one more game. Just type yes, one more. If you find them very irresistible, then after that they will showcase you, another game.
Yes.
All right.
We are good with our mouth, but we both have very small mouth.
Good luck.
Virgin mouth. Very virgin mouth. Sorry.
Very tight mouth. Yeah. Okay, so we will play one more game. Okay, Jason Tan says, yes, one more game. All right, so let's do it. Okay, so this one's gonna happen. We want to do lip sync or not?
Let's sing live, because we're singing.
So we're getting our participants, our viewers to be saying yes. Okay, so this is I requires our viewers to be participating. So what I'm going to do right now, come out with one adjective word. It can be anything, like it can be sexy, alluring, charming, big, enormous, anything.
And then we have to make a story out of it, is it? Or what?
Then you will sell something. So now it's selling time.
Okay.
So what's gonna
Become
happen?
sales girl.
Ayo.
Pick an adjective, guys.
In the afternoon shopping network.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Or MLM.
Okay, we have our first adjective is here. So continues. Showcasing adjective is hot. Okay, so that's now BB went straight. Went first. So Joanne is
Went straight. I'm never straight.
What?
I get to there's too much straightness. Wow, there's a lot of it.
All very hands up one, I tell you. Hard.
Yeah. Who's this Andy Lim? Wow, this Andy Lim was so quite cute.
Hard. What kind of
So now-
hard you want?
Okay, I give
You Andy Lim very hard now.
Okay, you all one heart. Okay, now we go with heart. Okay, now so Joanne, since you're going to go first, so BB, so pick a thing. Heart what?
Okay. Oh, okay. Hard spectacles.
Okay, heart spectacle. So Joanne, you have 60 seconds to sell everyone heart spectacles. So ladies and gentlemen, presenting you Joanne Kam selling us heart spectacle.
Has this ever happened to you? You're putting all your groceries and then you're coming into your car and then all of a sudden you sit in your car and then you hear piach, and then you turn around. You turn around and you saw your sunglasses break into two. Now, ladies and gentlemen, wouldn't you love it to have this new ultra hard sunglass spectacle that I'm selling? It's so hard. It's harder than your boyfriend's equipment.
Toy.
When he's watching porn. This is harder than hard porn, It's so hard that if you have an MPV, all of a sudden your hard sunglass spectacle drop in front of your MPV and you take your car and you accidentally run over this hard sunglasses spectacle. You come out, it's still there. You know why?
So go get a heart spectacle to all ladies and boys out there. If your partner's, a guy, of course not very hard, maybe you can consider buying heart spectacle from Joanne Kam.
Yes, after he put it on, he will be hot for 24 hours.
Wow, even better than Tonka Ali, even better than your Viagra there. So ladies, don't fit them. Okay, wow, I thought as a Visa, Forrest Vincent. Harder than the
Wow. That one is not hard. That one muka pecah for us. Pecah is different from hard.
All right, we have one more. So now to BB. Okay, there's a lot of adjective words that are coming, but I'm in particular keen on this. This is something different, so probably we go for beachy. Okay.
Ayo, what kind of picture is that? How can the person and the cat look the same one?
I know, like that.
Oh my god, yeah. So Joanne, pick is I think beachy what, and then after BB will
beachy soap. Beachy soap.
So okay.
Soap.
Okay, all right. So, ladies and gents, and now presenting you our second diva this evening, and she will be selling us beachy soap.
Sawadika, welcome to my shop. I tell you, if you are very docile, you always get bullied, you always scared, you must use this. You drink Tonka Ali, you drink ginseng, no, use my beachy soap. You rub the beachy soap all over your body, I tell you. In no time, your mouth will be like chibai like that, very laser. So buy my beachy soap. For this MCO promotion, we give you buy one, get two free. If you are handsome like some of the guys here, you get me free also. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Very quiet. Oh, I think that Forrest Vincent is getting so excited. Yeah.
I think we can sell 50 beachy soap to Forrest Vincent now.
I think so. Yeah. And Forrest Vincent will just wall up everything also from you.
Beachy soap. Beachy soap.
Yes, beachy soap.
Well, there you guys. It's been an hour, and when we're having fun, really time flies very fast. I really so fast, yeah. So I mean, some of the takeaways is that today are from our two guests today. continue believing in what you are, and never give up. It's like, yes, it's like we are living in a trying times, and sometimes it's like we might be entering into this black tunnels, we never know. But most importantly, through hard work, through commitments from both our entertainers have talked about, continue to persevere, continues, being agile, and you will succeed. Yeah. Oh my God. Somebody says Bichi is Arthur's middle name. Actually, wow.
Oh, Arthur, before you answer this show, you use the Bibi Poh on yourself. You on yourself already.
Where can I get the soap? Ooh,
You come look for me, Forrest. I will sell you the beachy soap. I will sell you the beachy soap and then Hums Up shampoo. How about that?
Yes, she will show you how to use it.
It comes with a live demonstration.
Yes.
I think, oh my God, I think both of you ladies are definitely won't able to sleep tonight. I think Forrest Vince Chan is definitely going to be very enthusiastic, knocking on your Facebook messengers and knocking until you can deliver the soup. So yes, we have a lot of comments coming in. Of course, as Forrest Vince Chan, thank you very much for our entertainment, especially two astounding comedians. You really make us happy. That's the whole reason. I mean, apart from all the harmsupness, it's really about reminding people to laugh more, live well, and of course love yourself. That's very important.
Oh yes, must always self-love is first.
Yes.
Self-love, yes. I'm feeling so hot. I do self-love.
Self-love, self-love.
You stop there, Nia.
Like that.
If you want Joanne and BB's to be back for second sequels, then comment in the box. If you find them irresistible, if you want more BB coming, comment on the box, reply yes. Comment with yes, and we will have them back, for second sequel. I hope this is subject to approvals, from ALYFE Group. Well, we have Josephine Chase, say don't stop, and tune in too late. They say come back. So yes, and they say tune in, late, so sad. It's about enjoy every.
But they can see the replay, right? Is there going to be a replay for this?
There's a replay, yes. There's a replay here. There's a replay of ALYFE as well as replays, on YouTube as well. Yeah, they can watch on YouTube. Yes, Forrest Vince Chan. I'm not afraid Forrest Vince Chan won't be watching next. You know why not? Because we'll be visiting a BB already. Now
yes.
Wait,
he's not visiting BB. We are visiting him. BB must demonstrate the beachy soap, right?
Yes, and you will demonstrate the Hums Up shampoo.
Forrest is a body shampoo. Just to let you know first.
So guys, if you want them to be back selling demonstrating on the hard
Forrest Vince Chan
sunglasses as well, hard sunglasses as well as beachy
Forrest Vince Chan.
He puts together,
I don't know how you guys are going to demonstrate that but honestly, so any final words from the both of you to all the viewers?
Joanne?
Oh, because I was reading the comments. I thought you was asking. Well, don't forget to stay alive in the ALYFE group and support each other, because only when we support each other, that's when we can ensure that we come out of this MCO even stronger.
That's
not
right.
The virus stronger.
Yes, we are
not
stronger.
Stronger.
And remember, everyone stay joyful, stay cheerful, stay healthy. 开开心心，健健康康，天天打飞机。sorry, that one never mind lah. The last one. That one different. And back to our host.
So there we go. Ladies and gents, all viewers, thank you very much for joining us to watch the one and only Joanne Kam, and of course we have Bibi Poh. Of course, more importantly, is they are just BB coming all the time. So if you want more BB coming from them to do the net demonstration, then there's a continuous support as a local, yes, local homegrown, local community, local product. There are local products also lah. Okay, yeah.
So I'm very local.
I'm very local.
Very local.
Penang girl.
Once in a while, international also lah.
Penang girl got big siu pao.
Very local until I don't know when your action probably is proven otherwise, Dad.
Pampula ketam kan?
All right, fantastic. So over back to you, Jacob.
Jacob. Oh, he's hot.
Now only you notice Wapiang 1 hour already
Oh yeah. Just now I didn't have enough coffee, ma.
I think the show just started there, Jacob. I think they're so excited right now. Like, for all the effort they're putting on, like 2-3 hours. They take two hours to get ready. So, I think they're so excited.
How come Jacob got no sound?
Oh,
yeah, you muted his mic.
Hey guys, I was here the whole time. I was just peeking out from behind the curtain, just.
Oh, you naughty boy, are you?
I was getting a good view from the back.
Howard say Jacob is hot. Yes, Howard, I agree with you. Jacob is hot. With all this facial hair, it can definitely be. Exfoliating. Exfoliation, I tell you, exfoliation. Ayo.
Arthur got no facial hair.
My mom said I look like a serial rapist, so I needed to.
You wear got facial hair, Arthur. You're like a born egg like that.
God, I was. It's like the first 6 weeks I had. Then my mom said a serial rapist.
Arthur, you should just grow the tash, just the one pencil mustache. Get like the Colombian look going on. The extra there.
But it doesn't really connect. Like it doesn't connect. My mustache goatee doesn't really seem to connect. The facial hair at the side.
It's okay. Just fill it in with
eyeshadow,
eyeliner, pencil.
You should be glad that I lasered my face. Otherwise, I have enough facial hair to challenge Jacob.
Oh, what do you call this? Arthur, you have a Facebook user that says, "How come you never intro Jacob to us?" Arthur Tan.
Dang, dang, dang,
I'm anonymous. Yeah.
See, it's like that one, Arthur will keep all the langchai to himself. You see that later. I think this Facebook user is your friend, Arthur.
All this langchai, everything we take.
This is a plunge. Where's this coming from? This audience is it's in particular designated as to actually sabo me.
I don't even remember a Facebook user. Never give his real name.
Yeah, exactly.
Another sister.
Another sister. But it's okay lah. Maybe since we are on a live show already, maybe for our Chap Fun show, we can invite Jacob to be in our Chap Fun show.
Right, yeah.
Okay. I think I have to brush up on my Chinese some more because you guys can talk about me, not even behind my back. You guys can talk about me to my face, and I have no idea what you're saying. So
we like talking to white people in front of their face.
Oh my God! I just realized that the Facebook user, it's my sister. Oh my God! What's going on here? I'm not going to introduce you, Jacob. Of course not.
Any of you want to know Arthur? I will introduce you to Arthur. All the Lang Loi, all the Lang Chai, anybody.
So naughty. Well, okay, I think Jacob has something to say. So he has been posing.
No, not at all. I just came on to say, to get involved. Really, I thought you guys were having fun, so I thought just before we wrap up the night, it'd be a shame to leave without saying goodbye to all of you. And of course, thank you to all of you. I think Arthur, I want to thank you. I think the most for taking these two off my hands because they would have eaten me alive if I had to host the show. So.
Well, let's entertain them, and then after that, let's compliment them.
You did such a wonderful job. It's not these two are the most, the most energetic, most exuberant, most hilarious comedians on the circuit today, and so you've done a wonderful job. I don't know. Is Bibi miming? Is she doing some sign language there? Or something?
Yes, that's every time people talk longer than 5 seconds, we need to do a mime so that everyone else can understand.
Well, I do.
Oh.
I do understand. I do have some knowledge in sign language. Not a lot, just enough.
Okay.
Yes,
How do you
like
say?
Arthur is ARTHUR.
I know it
And
just
Jacob,
means thank you, right?
yeah, this is
That's it.
thank you. Jacob will be JACOB.
Oh, impressive. You're a woman
Yeah.
of many talents, Bibi.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, because some of those guys, there's this signer from TV.
Do you make Jacob blush?
Oh, I'm
How
gonna
was
make.
it? I don't know.
I'm shy. I'm
Maybe
nervous.
you're very wanted tonight. You are very wanted, Bibi. Oh my god.
Everyone.
Wait until Bibi show you her lightsaber.
Yeah.
Very shy. You know,
Ah.
I think this is the first time that I'm not really here. I think we are really eating up, swallowing Jacob words because it's like every time his voice is so distinctive, and yeah, all of us is a lot just swallowing.
That's
Jacob.
That's why. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
swallowing
so very
is good.
for stepping in.
Swallowing is always good.
Especially if you, what do you call this, form a sentence with 3 swallowing in one sentence, Arthur.
Okay.
Hey, well, they say you shouldn't talk with your mouth full, right? So make sure you swallow before you start the sentence.
Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
Wow. I think you just gave them an enlightenment, yeah, Jacob. They probably want to use it.
That's one key takeaway from we've had a day full of inspirational talks and powerful sharing, but that is the takeaway from today, fellas. It's fellas, ladies. That is the
Fun,
that's a good high note to end the day on, we think. So I think that's about. I think we've overrun a little bit, but it's a shame to finish the night where we have to. But I'm afraid, guys.
I think we can go on for another hour actually. But very short.
Oh my god, we overran.
Yeah,
we overran.
I
Sorry, we
gotta
overran.
admit, right? The first times when I was being appointed this, I was also very terrified that these 2 ladies are going to eat me up virtually. Because I mean, I've done shows with them in real life, but then again, that's something I can control because I'm holding a mic. So even if I can just say that, you know. But this is like I can control that. So
you have, I guess you have the power to mute them if it gets a bit. I think I would have had to sort of myself and mute and everything. I would have been.
Hey, we give you face already, you know. I at least let you finish your following sentence.
You get to see her.
See, after I couldn't have done it. I would have lasted 5 minutes, and not like in the way I usually last longer than 5 minutes. Promise.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we just have to trust your word or put you on the test for it.
Oh, okay. Challenge accepted.
Ooh.
They're going to bring you to the show then, yeah.
Like that cat in a Puss in Boots.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you hear Jacob say he will be in our show where
yes,
he will last more than 5
and
minutes.
we will make him wear a tank top. Okay.
Well, why wear anything?
You must call my agent first. You must call the head agent at ALYFE Group.
You are okay in just your towel.
You say you agree. Now, like all viewers are watching out there. There's 1,011 viewers right now. So all of you guys, are literally your evidence. Like Jacob is gonna wear, something sexy, either tutus, or he's probably
tutu.
Maybe you don't do professional.
If you find the idea of me in a tutu sexy, then we have to have a serious talk, my friend. I mean, this lockdown is making you crazy.
Drag race.
That would be another kind of show, Arthur.
More. There's a whole idea of this show, right? To get people laugh, right? So tough fun, tough fun shows. It's Roger.
Well, I've not signed anything yet. I think you've got to talk to my agent, talk to ALYFE Group. We've got to get some paperwork. I want to see some documentation. I want to see.
Or we can even get Arthur on. This time we will ask him questions.
A live session is not legally binding.
Well,
okay. The host have to say over and now this can continue, because we've got nothing else to do tomorrow.
Yeah, basically me and Joanne usually will.
Let's just get the officer to say something. All right, okay. Should I mute everybody? I mute myself as well.
Yes. Bye, guys.
That's the host. Good night, everybody. I'll take you all off screen.
What are you gonna say, Jacob? Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just gonna say this is all. Bye, Arthur. Sorry, I'm just gonna take you off screen. And this one, there you go. You can say goodnight to the team as well.
Anyway, thanks. Yeah.
No, man,
Right,
thank you
bye.
very much. We really
Bye.
appreciate it. Good night. Good night.